ringing in our ears from the north end zone. The Bucs were introduced a moment ago, and they are all set as their guys will do battle with the San Francisco 49ers. The veteran kicker, Robbie Gould, set to get us started. And off we go from Tampa. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
Ready, white 25.
Mark 56.
Come on, Sunday.
On 1st and 10, Winston. It's caught by Mike Evans. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. A huge play there right off the bat. 43 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. The second-year man from USC, this is Ronald Jones. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 15 yards as Tampa Bay picks up the first.
Only one way to describe Ronald Jones' rookie season with Tampa Bay, and that's disappointing. Drafted to be their lead runner, just 23 carries on a team that ranked 29th in the NFL in rushing.
Jones has it. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays.
I don't mean to jump in on you, partner, but they didn't waste any time getting downfield, did they? I mean, a nice big play there.
3 plays, 3 successful plays in plus territory. Now this defense on its heels a bit.
It seems like they had something targeted there, doesn't it? It's like, okay, we've got... Got a matchup we like coming right out of the gate. Let's go ahead and get right to it.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal.
Hey, 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. 61. Match box.
Jameis to throw it. And Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucs. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Excellent start there. First drive of the season. Big-time success putting it in the end zone.
And remember, that was done without any real map of how to do it. In other words, the deeper you get into the season, you got game film to work off of, tendencies to work off of. The first drive of the season, things can be entirely different than what you've seen in the past. It's a really good job of execution by them.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here first and 10 at their own 27. Now a man who really stepped up last year. This is Matt Breida. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Now, this series between the 49ers and the Bucs began back in 1977 in Tampa Bay's second year in the NFL. It's been a series that the 49ers have dominated, 17-7 overall, although Tampa has won the last 2 meetings. Following the pickup of 4, here's second and 6. Garoppolo completes it to the tight end, Kittle. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down. On is the rookie 4th-rounder Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Now this is fielded in the end zone. He'll be hard-pressed to match that one. That a 65-yard punt. And the Bucs are going to take over first and 10 deep in their own territory. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
On second down now, it's Jones. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a first down.
Chris Godwin, the former Penn Stater, should see an increase in action and production in 2019 with Adam Humphries and Deshaun Jackson gone from the team. 842 yards in 2018, second only to Mike Evans on the Buccaneers.
No gain on the play there, second down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, second and 10. They go play action. Winston. Flushed out right. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. D Ford in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
3rd and long for Winston. And this one caught by Cameron Braid. Give him 19 on the play, but they will still come up a bit short. And now it's 4th down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, of that marker. Here comes Pettis on the return. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10.
At their own 36-yard line.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. They'll start on the ground with Breida. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
49ers nothing.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now Garoppolo. Looking for Pettis, but that's intercepted. Picked by Kevon Seymour. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. From the gun, Winston. This one complete to Scott Miller. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
It's a gain of 20.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on this.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sack back. At the 38.
Bosa, a big loss on the play, brings up 2nd down.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Winston, a handoff. This is Jones. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
Ready? Black 22.
54 Mike.
Hey, we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball.
On play action, Winston. Open man is Godwin. It's complete. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 23 yards, the final tally.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball. Outfielder, and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's translated well in the National Football League.
That it has when he has to make that throw up.
Godwin's got it. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Chris Godwin there to make the grab as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead.
Now that touchdown won't allow you to totally relax, but you can breathe a little easier now. Just increased their lead.
Extra point by Gay is up and good, and it's now 14-0. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points get that 0 off the board. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Throwing now is Garoppolo. Open man is Pettis. It's complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That's a gain of nearly 40 yards on 3rd and medium to pick up the first. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. On 1st down, here's Breida. And Ndamukong Suh makes the tackle. Matt Breida out of Georgia Southern now in his 3rd year in a 49er uniform. He was tough to keep off the field last year. Very good yards per carry. 5.3 on 153 attempts. Good for over 800 yards rushing. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Garoppolo looks to throw. And that's knocked away and incomplete. Coverage there by Kevon Seymour. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
CD, you know there were quite a few Bears fans back in January saying, why didn't we hold on to that Robbie Gould guy?
Well, it's a legitimate question. 33 of 34 for San Francisco in 2018. The crazy stat of the year, he missed more extra points, 2, than he did field goals, 1, in the 2018 season.
Now it's Gould after splitting the uprights to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
On 2nd and 11 now. Winston got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. 17 yards on the play and a Buccaneer 1st down.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. Jameis now on 1st down. He completes it to Evans. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a 1st down. Winston now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. A 1st down throw for Winston. And he finds Howard complete. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Out out of the pistol. The give to Jones. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
Let him go.
Winston now to throw on first down. Godwin's got it. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. 3 touchdown passes now in the ball game for Jameis Winston as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here we go, here we
The
go.
49er offense set to get this drive underway. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
So we're at halftime here in the opener of the 2019 regular season. As we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, we'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half.
Come on, fellas.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. On 2nd and 7, Garoppolo. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Credit the sack to Vita Vea. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
Well, that last sack, it puts Garoppolo and the 49ers in a tough spot. They face a 3rd and long. On 3rd and long, it's Garoppolo. Able to haul it in is Kittle. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Call that a very strong gain of 24. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. And finally down at the 32-yard line. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards.
First down, San Francisco.
Here we go.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
Mike's 54. Mike's 54. Here we go.
Here's Garoppolo to throw. He'll let this go for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Andrew Adams. And they get the football, but not much on the return here as he stopped at the 7-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll go again to Jones. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
All right. Let's go, D. Let's go.
3rd and short yardage. Winston looking for Godwin, and he's got it complete. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 16, 1st down Tampa Bay. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well, great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
The Pro Bowl corner, Jason Verrett, on the tackle. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Flush to his right. Open man is Howard, the tight end. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Winston now. Complete. He finds Bray.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. They go back to the ground with Jones. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Again, it's Jones. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Winston on 3rd and 2. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. Winston to Godwin on the connection there for a Tampa Bay first.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a 1st down.
Winston in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Back now in Tampa. It's the Bucs. They've got the football. They also are in front here on the scoreboard as we start the 4th. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Time to go, night. Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
Now Jones. And he's got some space here. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Ronald Jones, 32 yards as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. I think all teams probably like seeing that schedule for the first time, looking at week one. Oh, good, we're at home. This is why you want to be home in week one. They're looking sharp.
And I agree with you totally. That's what you want, but there carries a little extra pressure with that as well, because you and I both know protecting the home field, winning your home games is paramount in this league. So you go into it, yeah, we want it, but now you actually have to go out and prove it.
Yeah, two sides to that coin, and looking like they're going to protect it here in this one.
At their own 31-yard line.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
From the 40 now on second down. Garoppolo, the intended receiver, Marquise Goodwin, and it's 3rd and short. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And he won't get to the marker as they're going to stop it for a second straight play right at the line of scrimmage.
It's now 4th down.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. They run through him with Breida. Oh, and I think he went backward. He did. The Niners go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Bucs are going to take over with excellent field position to boot.
Slam. Come on. Sunday.
Off the play fake, Winston. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Nick Bosa in there to record the second sack of his young NFL career. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. They'll try the right side with Jones. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Check 26.
They'll keep it on the ground. Jones. They get a big amount back, 18 yards, but they'll still look at a 4th down now. The offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
A 49-yard attempt.
And this is just outside the right upright. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4th, turned it over in their own territory. But the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold up.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it. Be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Now we'll see what his offense can do. Now, pass complete here to Sanders. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 25 yards that time.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Here's a quick hitch route, and the throw complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a third down.
Here we go, here we go. What do you need?
Come on, the ball.
Garoppolo. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by the rookie linebacker from LSU, Devin White. And a good return here as he takes it up past the 30-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. They'll keep it on the ground. Jones. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to face a third down.
Ready? Black 25 behind.
56. Hey, let's get
Green,
this.
17.
Here's Winston. He sets to fire deep. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively.
The Niners take over first and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Here we go, here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week? And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked off by the rookie linebacker from LSU, Devin White. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. And that one, Charles, is just going to about wrap up what was no doubt a dominating defensive performance.
Yeah, I don't care what team it is. I don't care who you play, whether they're strong offensively or not. Just giving up 3 points in the NFL, that's absolutely a dominant performance and one that they can build on.
Let's go, team. Gonna be a long day.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And down inside the 15 he goes. 15 yards as Tampa Bay picks up the first. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Winston here to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Big O.J. Howard, his intended target. And it'll bring up third down.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter, maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. On third down, Winston. He sets up the screen to Jones. And they will get to him at the 7 and stop him short of the first down marker. The screen gets 7, but it's not enough, and it'll be fourth down. They'll run it with Jones. Going absolutely nowhere. He'll wind up losing a yard or two. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. And the 49ers are going to get the football back. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people.
And he's going to be taken down. Sacked back at the 2. So time has run out on what will be a Tampa Bay victory. And with that, our journey begins, Charles. Week 1 in the books. Going to be a great season.
Oh, man, so much to look forward to. Isn't it nice to get a really good game right out of the gate? Preseason behind us. All these games count now, don't they?
Yeah, this is the exciting time with just 1 week gone and plenty of weeks to come. So for the Buccaneers, that'll be a happy locker room as they start this season 1-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for the Niners, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a match.